Today we had a pretty good idea for the video. We want to bring you behind the scenes of the daily routines we go through as traders, things that we do every day, things that we don't do every day, kind of see what we are focused on, especially when we are around the world and traveling. It's good to follow a routine. That just makes the trading work better. But here's a twist. Michael and I now are on two very different time zones, two very different lifestyle. I'm in Warsaw here in Poland. He's on the cruise down in Canada. And with that, we'll bring you guys along, try to show you our routine, things we go through. You'll see how my routine is different from his, and what he does daily is also different from mine. So it's gonna be a cool perspective to see. And let's get the day started here in Warsaw, while Michael is probably asleep on a cruise somewhere. Okay, so currently Tuesday morning, and I woke up around 9 a.m., which is quite late for me. I'm trying my best now these days to wake up without an alarm clock, which means that sometimes I'm waking up later than usual, and that's good. I've been waking up really early for a long time, kind of putting in an alarm clock, and I'm just not a fan anymore. So I want to be able to wake up when I wake up and kind of let my body rest more sometimes. So what comes next is breakfast, then heading back to the room for a bit of work, and finally some gym, and then we'll go out and I'll show you around, of course, this beautiful city of Warsaw. So right now I'm at the hotel lounge after a quick gym session. It was good. It's good that they have some good lunch here at the lounge, so we'll enjoy that. Usually what I do is I'm waiting for the market to open in the US in the afternoon to place my trades and look at the chart, specifically about the US market. So I have this little app on my iPad, which is it's called World Clock, kind of showing the time of the different time zones here. So I'm waiting for New York to open. They also have a quick widget for this that I have on my home screen. And I'm waiting for this for 9:30 a.m. Eastern to look at the market. Probably what will happen, we'll have lunch here. We'll look at the chart at the cafe later. Some soup, some salad, a bit of bread. It's good that they have a kind of healthy lunch here. And it should be good to go outside, walk around, and find a cafe later to look at the chart when it's opening up. All right, well on time. We are about 3:30 p.m. now. It's only 6 p.m. actually. So New York was open in a few minutes. I'll be looking at the chart, placing some trades, and we'll have a look at what we have in the market. So here we are on TradingView. You'll see that I have my charts loading up right now. I'm going to hide everything here, and it's going to be a lot better. So what I do is I go through all the pairs on my list. First Forex, then we switch to stocks, and we'll go through each of them. I can basically just have a look at the alerts too if I want to. So on the side here I have my alerts. You can see we had set up yesterday for IAK, which is the insurance index. This setup didn't trigger, but there's other stuff. These will come in when the market opens. And I'll look at them first, and I'll go through the chart and scroll quickly. It takes about maybe 15 minutes just to scroll through each of them and see any setup happening. But that's all I do pretty much every day. So yeah, we'll have a look at that, and I'll keep you posted. It's going to be a bit of a slow day today. We only have one setup on EXC. Okay, so just for my alerts over here on the right side, this is the only setup we have today. I'll still scroll through the charts and see other stuff we have going on, but for now this is the only one. It's going to be a buy trade based off this chart over here. I know the camera doesn't make it look too good, so I'll put a separate screenshot here of the trade and the entry, the stop loss, and so on. And yeah, we'll get on that move. While we're here, I also had a weekly setup to enter on Baba, so Alibaba. It's going to be a good one. It's still not there yet quite, so I'm putting a stop order, a buy stop order above the high of the engulfing candle. Wait to see if that's triggered this coming week. If not, I'll cancel the order at the end of the week. And it looks like a solid setup. It's actually a pretty strong trend, so looking good. As far as Forex goes, no setup. It's very quiet these days, very much sideways markets. So let's travel around the world and see what Michael is doing right now.
Hey traders, welcome back. So this week we have a little different format. All right, Etienne and I are traveling different parts of the world, but our trading never stops. Let's get to it live from the Princess Discovery cruise ship. Traveling and trading is just something that a lifestyle that really elevates the benefits and beauty of trading, and that's pretty much why I do it. So some of the pros and cons, I mean, obviously the pros are just too numerous to mention. It creates a lifestyle that's just second to none. Travel across the world, meet different people, different cultures. Sometimes getting out of the US itself is a pleasure cruise. Some of the things to also think about too is it pretty much can apply to almost any product. I mean, to trade really is, the vast array. A lot of these products are 24 hours. So if you're in different time zones, like I'm in Pacific time zone here in the Pacific Ocean. So, some things are earlier. U.S. markets open, the equity markets at 6:30 a.m. Okay, that could be a little bit of a challenge, especially with room service coming around that time. But, it is what it is. I'll have to deal with that. It's a high-class problem. But you can trade anything, equities, stocks, obviously when the markets are open. And I think option selling premium is a perfect antidote for the traveling trader lifestyle. Some of the caveats that I'm not crazy about is obviously the Wi-Fi thing is an issue. It's getting a lot better, particularly on cruise ships. So I'm not too worried about that now, but it still hangs over my head. Actually, I was on an Amtrak train from Albuquerque to LA last week, and that was probably more of a concern. It kept going in and out in the middle of the desert. We're on a cruise ship. It's pretty much, this is day 3, and I don't think I've had an issue yet. All right, but I'm still conscious of it. So the drawback is I'm probably not going to be, I'm definitely not going to be trading my normal size. So I have to reduce that. So if I have a really good trading day on the road, it probably would have been a lot better if I was back at home. So that's also another issue as well. The other thing I will mention too, sort of a con, it's not about technology, it's about your schedule. Like this morning, I was rushing to, get to a breakfast that I signed up for with this group. And it was sort of on my mind. It's no big deal. But after that, there was an enrichment talk held in the theater that I wanted to check out. But it was kind of my mind. I was rushing, and I ended up pushing the micro futures instead. So, that sort of whatever $40 trade win was probably $400. So if I was doing the right thing. So things like that. It's like the scheduling. You're going to dinners with family or whatever the case may be. You don't want your trading to conflict with that. So just a little something for you to think about when you're traveling and trading. And the other thing too is I don't have this vast array in my office of 10 screens with 50,000 indicators. So I'm okay with that, but I do miss some of my internals that I don't have on my app. And even when I have them, it's just difficult to navigate to. I just need my basic core tools that I need. And some of them may be risk management tools that maybe are a little better, in my home office, so to speak. But as long as you have OCO capabilities and your ability to shift, adjust targets, things like that, pretty much on the fly, you'll get used to it. A lot of these apps are pretty comfortable with that. You don't have to go like 20-step process. So, that's something that helps too. That's something 3 or 4 years ago I really didn't have. So you're kind of, once you set it and forget it, it is what it is. If your mind changes or something in your internals change, it's kind of tough sometimes where you're trying to cancel the order and all of a sudden, you're filled. What are you going to do? And then you just manage it accordingly. But nowadays, it's easy. These apps have everything pretty much at your fingertips. But if you're an indicator guy who has like 20 indicators that they look at, you may want to check your app to see if you have those in your sort of app version. But the big one for me is size. I certainly have to reduce size, usually about 80%. But that's probably more fear than anything. I really need to sort of get with the program where it's not going to be an issue until it's an issue, but I just still tend to trade small when, traveling and trading. Of course, there's also a pleasure part of this trip too, so I don't want to be sitting there, all day watching ticks. Now let's go back to Etienne, see what he's doing on his side.
Kind of look at the charts a bit too fast. There was a trade on Euro USD that I also took. It's a long trade, a very small setup, but it looks good to me. Placed that trade too while I was on the chart, and so far it looks quite promising. So this one is not really triggered yet. It's a buy stop order again above the high of the engulfing candle. If it's not triggered today, I'll cancel the order. And this is what we have so far. So now the trading is done for the day. It took me about maybe 30 minutes maximum, even less than that. And now we're about to go explore and go to a piano show. Let's have a look at that. So chart is done, trading is done for the day. We went to see a piano concert. Chopin here is from Warsaw, so it was really nice to see that. See a pianist play, of course, the pieces from Chopin. It was a lot of fun. Now we're having dinner in a local restaurant around here, some vegan food. So we'll have a look at that. And that kind of wraps up the day. So we'll walk back and I'll show you along how we get back to the hotel.
I think the first step in maybe setting your goals for a traveling trader lifestyle is the belief. Number one step is the belief that you can do it. And I can attest to you, I'm not the smartest guy in the room for sure, but I can attest that this is definitely doable. I do it several times a year, and it just is one of those balance of work life that just cannot compare to anything else. All right. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next video.